Katharine Hepburn, an audio biography. Written by Geoffrey Giuliano. Narrated by Geoffrey Giuliano.
I'm just something from New England that was very American and brought up by two extremely intelligent people who gave us the greatest gift that man can give anyone, and that is sort of freedom from fear.
Stubborn and domineering, yet utterly feminine, she was able to stand toe-to-toe with the kings of cinema and proclaim herself their equal. Katharine Hepburn, a Yankee in Hollywood's court, was nothing like the silver screen has ever seen before or since. On May 12, 1907, in Hartford, Connecticut, Katharine Houghton Hepburn was the second of 6 handsome children born to Virginia surgeon Dr. Thomas Hepburn and his heiress wife, Catherine Martha Houghton, of the Corning Glass Company founders. Calling herself my main gift from my parents, Kathy, as she was known in her youth, was thoroughly a product of her maverick upbringing. Growing up at the family's 3-story Victorian Gothic at 133 Hawthorne Street, Kate, apart from a short spell at Hartford's Oxford School, was privately tutored. She spent many carefree childhood hours fashioning a homemade cardboard theater, with cutout actors and later staging neighborhood shows in the backyard theater which her father had built. While her aristocratic mother heartily approved of classical theater, she thoroughly disdained the Hollywood flicks which consumed her eldest daughter. The only time Kate got her mother to accompany her to the local Majestic Theater, Mrs. Hepburn burst into a boisterous, sarcastic laughter, creating such a scene the usher forced the pair to leave. Katharine drew her fierce, competitive spirit from her red-headed, quick-tempered, overachiever father, who instilled his win-at-all-cost attitude in his children. The surgeon organized weekly sporting contests, which featured reckless stunts like rappelling 60 feet down a rope and racing on a sled dragged across the Hartford streets by Dr. Tom's vintage Maxwell Roadster. At one point, the intrepid and daring tomboy Kathy, who could outswim, outskate, and even outwrestle her 3 brothers, cut off her hair and assumed the persona of Jimmy, her male alter ego she even briefly resurrected in college. In an exclusive telephone interview with Miss Hepburn's younger brother, Dr. Robert Hepburn, a noted New England physician, he lends some insight into his famous sister's little-known early life.
Well, I would say that she was very independent, self-spoken, athletic, nervy, courageous, and a very good athlete, really. That's the way I remember her. She had a wonderful dive called a Flying Dutchman, which she did very well at. And my father had built a 30-foot wooden tower at the end of the pier down at the shore, and Kate had no hesitation about going out on the diving board, not doing a Dutchman from up there, but diving off. She played a good game of golf. I think she was runner-up in the state tournament for women once, and she was, generally speaking, a good athlete and loved competitive athletics. She always liked to come home and be greeted by her father and mother and the rest of us, and she would tell us about her times at school and so on, and her opinions and thoughts. She was always had good thoughts.
Where others in her circle of wealth and privilege were groomed for the genteel graces of high society, Kate's was an activist world of equal rights and independent thought. Her father was a deeply concerned physician and dedicated liberal Democrat, while her mother, president of the Women's Suffrage Association, stormed defiantly through the streets of Hartford, often with young Kate in tow. Die-hard liberals, the Hepburns' lively dinner conversations ran the gamut from communism to prostitution and even nudism. In fact, it was common practice for the entire class
Sample complete. Ready to continue?